Nikki Haley continues to go scorched earth on Donald Trump, now saying that the idea of reelecting Trump is suicide for our country, and even suggesting that merely making Trump the Republican nominee would be suicide for the country. Axios has a report on this based on an interview that Nikki Haley did with the Wall Street Journal. And it says, former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley slammed former President Trump in a Wall Street Journal interview published Tuesday, warning that if he clinches the nomination, the Republican Party could lose in November. Haley has repeatedly cited Trump's general election vulnerabilities as a reason for staying in the race, despite having no clear path. That's right, no clear path to win the nomination. This may be his survival mode to pay his legal fees and get out of some legal peril, but this is like suicide for our country, Haley said of Trump, who faces 91 criminal counts across 4 cases. We've got to realize that if we don't have someone who can win a general election, all we are doing is caving to the socialist left. Of course, there really is no socialist left of any significant power. Now, on their side, Stephen Chung's statement, he's Trump's campaign spokesperson, he says Republican voters have delivered resounding wins for President Trump in every single primary contest, and this race is over. Our focus is now on Joe Biden and the general election. You know, I appreciate, on the one hand, that Nikki Haley, for the last 6 to 8 weeks, has been way more forthright and direct and honest. Really, it's just honesty at the end of the day about the problems with Trump. Trump has been a disaster for the Republican Party. And since Trump won in 2016, Republicans have either underperformed what they should have done historically or straight up lost. She's absolutely right about that. She is absolutely right that Trump is showing decline. She's absolutely right that Trump mistook Nancy Pelosi for Nikki Haley. She is absolutely right about all of these criticisms. And yet, she seems to think that Trump would still be better than Biden, I think, because Biden is even worse as part of the socialist left. And she has said that she would pardon Donald Trump. So if she really believes Trump and his actions to be the danger to this country that she claims them to be, why is she saying in advance she would pardon Trump before even having the facts about whether justice was applied correctly or incorrectly in Trump's criminal trials, which have not yet even happened? She says all of these terrible things about Donald Trump, and yet we are to believe that Joe Biden is even worse than that, especially when we've had more than 3 years of Joe Biden, no scandals, an economy that is quite stable, and a number of major accomplishments. It's very difficult to really see Nikki Haley as an honest participant in this entire thing when she, on the one hand, is saying these things about Trump, but then still saying, oh, it's all better than the Biden socialist left, and I would pardon Donald Trump. Trump is suicide for our country, but Biden is worse than killing the country by suicide? It actually invites even more questions than are answered by this. So I continue to believe that Nikki Haley is less crazy than Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong. She's less crazy than Donald Trump. She's more knowledgeable than Donald Trump. But at the end of the day, is still a calculating, bad faith political actor who should not be president of the United States and who now wants us to believe, I guess, that despite all of the terrible things Trump has done and said, which she tells us, she acknowledges, he's better than Biden and deserves a presidential pardon if convicted. Not a good faith participant to me, my friends. Less crazy, sure, but that is a very low bar. The household products you buy every week impact the environment. 30 million trees are destroyed every year for toilet paper in the U.S. alone. Our sponsor, Reel, makes a sustainable toilet paper, contains no trees. It uses 100% bamboo. Reel's paper is certified by the Forest Stewardship Council, meaning they are responsibly harvesting bamboo grass that's used for their paper. And bamboo toilet paper is softer and stronger than regular toilet paper. It's a win for everybody, including the planet. And while regular toilet paper is wrapped in plastic as well, Real Paper's packaging is fully plastic-free and compostable. Real Paper partners with One Tree Planted with every box of Real that you buy. They are funding reforestation efforts around the country. So unlike the other toilet paper that cuts down trees, Real Paper doesn't use trees and is helping to actively plant trees. I have Real toilet paper on a subscription, so I don't run out. The subscription gives you an extra discount as well. Go to realpaper.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 30% off your first order and free shipping. The link is down below.